During our last lesson we looked at serving. We looked at the preparation phase, swinging through to the contact point and following through. We didn't look at recovery, but we're going to cover that off in this video. The first part of serving is preparation. You'll notice in this picture that the back foot is parallel to the baseline of the court and the front foot is pointing towards the net post. Hands are out in front with the racket and a ball being held in the neck of the racket, and at this point the weight is on the front foot. We then transfer our weight onto our back foot, and that's to do with loading. So by having our weight on our back foot, when we swing through and accelerate the racket towards the ball for the contact point, our weight's going to be moving forward and into the court. The racket starts to move backwards for the backswing, and at the same time the left arm, which is going to be doing the ball toss, starts that motion. Note that the ball's held in the fingertips, not in the whole hand. Holding the ball in the fingertips for the ball toss gives you much better consistency on your throw. Next, the racket head drops behind the head and then down the back in a back scratching type motion, and simultaneously the left arm is completing the ball toss. So that left arm has to throw the ball nice and high, and most of the success from your serve is going to come from having the ball toss in the correct place. And that correct place is out in front, not too far, but enough that you can, when you swing up to hit the ball, that you're going to move forward into the court, not for too far to the left, not too far to the right. The racket head then needs to accelerate up towards the ball, so it goes from that position right down low, and the wrist has to pronate through that action so that by the time you reach the contact point, the racket is square onto the ball. The faster the racket accelerates here towards the ball, the more power you're going to get. But in tennis, there's always a compromise between power and accuracy, so you have to judge that correctly, that the ball's going to still go in the court, but you're going to get as much power with control. The contact point is one of the other key parts of the serve, so you need the contact point to be out in front of you, and you'll notice in this picture that the arm is nice and straight, and that creates the longest possible lever. The racket head has pronated around so that by the time it hits the ball it's square on, and that means that we can control the direction of where the serve's going to go. The racket head continues its swing through the ball. Because we've accelerated the racket head up to the contact point, it still has a lot of momentum. So that by the racket still following through, this allows that momentum to decelerate. And we never want to decelerate before we hit the ball, always after, and that's why the follow through is really important. At the end of our service action, we're always off balance. We've propelled our body weight forwards into the court in order to put all of that force behind the ball. So the really key thing here is to recover your balance. You want to recover back onto a stable base of support and position yourself so that you're in the correct place in the court now for when your opponent returns the ball. So as you can see, serving is really complex. There are a whole lot of steps going on that make up about a 3-second action, and this is what it looks like when you put it all together. The type of serve that we've been looking at is a flat serve, and there are other types of serve in tennis as well. There's a slice serve and also a top spin serve. So the person in this picture is hitting a top spin serve, and that's why they are at a completely different angle from what it is that we've looked at. Whenever you serve in tennis, you always serve on a diagonal. So this person here is going to serve over into this service box here. The serve must be within this boundary here. So this is called the service box. And when after each serve, they're going to swap sides. So the next serve, he's going to be standing here, and he's going to be serving over into this service box here. The key to a good serve is, you guessed it, practice, practice, practice. So if you get a chance to practice your tennis serve, do. And if you've got any questions about serving, bring those along to our next lesson and we'll look at them then.